Since 1985, it has been the privilege of CCDA to recognize an outstanding choral director in our state who is retired from full-time conducting, having spent the major portion of their careers in California.
Candidates are nominated by the CCDA Board of Directors and voted upon by past presidents.
A nominee may be generally well known or known only in the immediate area in which he or she worked.
This prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award is named in honor of Dr. Howard S. Swan, who was known as the Dean of American Choral Directors.
Howard Swan's life spanned almost the entire 20th century, and he taught most of his long career at Occidental College, and also at Cal State Fullerton and UC Irvine. It is nearly impossible to overemphasize the far-reaching effects of his artistic command, powerful personality, and humanitarian spirit.
In an unusual turn of events, the voting for this year's Swan Award resulted in a tie. We will therefore be honoring two outstanding professionals from our state today.
Hello everyone, my name is Dan Bishop. I'm the Visual and Performing Arts Administrator for Clovis Unified and a longtime choral director in the San Joaquin Valley. And we're here today to congratulate Dr. Anna Hamre on being nominated and awarded the Howard Swan Award for ACDA in California.
Hi everyone, I'm Allison Kroos. I've known Anna Hamre since 2006 as a student and am currently teaching in Clovis Unified.
I remember when I came to Clovis East. We left Rayburn and I started in 1999. There was a brand new conductor here at Fresno State, Dr. Anna Hamre, and from Colorado. And I'm going, ooh, Colorado, what a great school. She had a great pedigree. She had great education in all the places she's been. And I knew several of the people that she had worked with, especially when she was at Colorado at Boulder. And it was neat to see her here. And she came in and I was just teaching with freshmen and sophomores at Clovis East, and she gave me the only 2 that I ever received with any of my chamber choirs in the history of my 35 years in education. And I thought, you know, I really need to get to know this lady here because number one, I didn't kind of blow her over just because of the fact that she came to the festival and she wanted to reward this new choir director as well. But at the same time, I really got to know that she's a really great choral conductor, really great ears, and she had a lot of great things going on. And so I was able to help her establish the Real Men Sing at Fresno State. I helped her out with her festival. We started a brand new thing called the Command Performance, and I got to do that for 16 straight years with her until I left, and she left both the very same year. So Dr. Hamre and I go back quite a long ways.
Dr. Hamre and I also go back not quite as long as Dan, but being her student assistant when I was at Fresno State, getting to be working with her directly, not only as a choir member, but as her assistant, as her librarian during my time there. My time with her was insurmountable. She taught me so many things as a mentor, as a conductor. I never took any classes with her aside from choir, yet I was able to learn so many things from this brilliant woman. And then as I got launched into my career here in Clovis Unified, I continued to sing with her in the Fresno Master Chorale, and she even invited me to feature my choir on 2 very major works, which was just such an honor to get to work with her in that capacity, and the fact that she would consider me someone to have enough of an influence on my students to be representative of in those concerts was so meaningful to me.
Yeah, congratulations, Dr. Hamre. Anna, you have been a mainstay of choral music in our great area here in the San Joaquin Valley. Your Masterworks Chorale and your Choral Piccolo that you conduct right now are some of the finest performing organizations anywhere around. Your years at Fresno State were just exemplary. Your mentorship to so many people. I just want to thank you for all your years of service and then congratulate you on this great honor.
Congratulations, Anna.
I first got the opportunity to work with Dr. Anna Hamre as a senior in high school in 2 different honor choirs, and it was a really special experience. It was one that actually made me change my path and become a music educator. Something that always stuck out to me with Dr. Hamry is that she has this ability when she's really excited about something in the music or just wants to kind of impart this knowledge upon her singers, she'll get really quiet and kind of talk to you in this hushed tone and draw you in. And you in turn just feel like you're having some kind of secret explained to you or some kind of magic exposed to you. And it's so lovely because it makes you really buy in to the music making experience. The other thing I've always appreciated about her is that she, as a conductor, if she's not getting what she wants as far as the nuance or maybe the dynamic expression, she will literally stop and say, okay, let me try this again. And that was such a lesson to learn from her as an educator, that sometimes just doing that little thing will make people really focus in and watch you, and then you get the result you want. Or sometimes that it will just make them actually see that we're all part of the process. It's not just that we're always wrong as singers, although sometimes we are. She is just the most kindest and most brilliant mind that I've probably encountered so far. And this last year, I was able to encounter this again with my own students, having her in an honor choir and getting to talk to them about the experience and see just the effect that she had on them that was so similar to the effect that she had on me. It was really special and something just amazing. Anna is probably one of the most gracious and knowledgeable people I know, and she's a great listener, and she is a tough love person, which I appreciate because I needed a lot. And I wish her all the best, and she is entirely deserving of this award and so many more things. So thank you, Anna, for all you've done. Congratulations.
I am sure you all know that old saying, choose a career that you love and you will never work a day of your life. And by now, you know how false that statement is. We love our careers in directing choirs, but we work our tails off, especially these days. I'm deeply honored to receive this award, named after one of the greatest choral giants in our history, Howard Swan. He truly was a giant. But there are hundreds of choral heroes that surround us right now, and I remain in awe of them all as they work their miracles. Their performances at conferences demonstrate the highest level of music making our art can achieve. Their leadership shown at workshops, in webinars, and even in phone calls instruct and sustain all of us. But I am equally impressed by our colleagues, mostly unrecognized, who are doing our missionary work. Those working in underserved parts of our state, those teaching the children who live in a society that may not recognize their humanity because of their skin color. Those leading in song the homeless and the incarcerated, people who may not find hope or acceptance elsewhere. And surely we remember those leading the threshold choirs at hospices and in hospitals, accompanying and soothing those people in transition. These directors are also our choral heroes, giants in their own way. We have the job that we love, but one that exhausts us daily. And now in 2020, we find we have a huge new set of problems and great uncertainty. Sometimes I bet you feel your job is crushing. In your exhaustion, do not be disheartened. I believe we are finally seeing the country turn the corner on race relations, and we just need to hang on another half year for the vaccine. History tells us that the world cannot go long without singing together. Leading choirs will always eventually be deemed an essential service. And when we finally come out on the other side of this pandemic, how beautiful the singing will be. Thank you, ACDA, for this incredible honor, certainly the highlight of my career. But thank you even more, ACDA, for gathering together and nurturing the choral heroes that inspire me every day. These heroes, all of you, are changing the world.
Jo Husti meditabitur sapientiam. Joe, I'm so thrilled for you that you've won the Swan Award, and honestly, I think you'd have won it a lot sooner, except none of us can actually tell that you're retired, since you still keep going to every conference, and you keep dreaming up new paradigms for choral performance, and you're probably planning your next tour as we speak, and telling everyone that this one is definitely going to be your last one. Your accomplishments in this field are well known, and they are amazing. But I want to thank you today for your part in my personal choral story. 25 years ago, when I was a dog trainer with an English degree and a dream of being a conductor, and when all the other graduate program advisors I called said, "I just don't know if I can see you fitting in here," you were the one who said, "Well, come on out here for an audition. I don't care what you've done, I care what you can do. Are you musical?" So I came. You bought me an egg salad sandwich. You had me conduct some Bach, you took me to see the ocean, and you gave me a reason to move 2,000 miles and to believe in the connectedness of all things within and beyond the choral realm. You have always had the generosity of spirit to imagine a place at the table for those who might never have imagined themselves there, and I love that about you. I also love that you're an elk farmer. I love that you still go to Cleveland Indians baseball fantasy camp. I love your conviction that the best musicians are the ones who have known and tasted much more of the world than just music. And I love the multi-generational choral family that you and Melinda have raised and that you continue to feed, literally, and care for today. Joe, there is no one your mentor, Howard Swan, would be prouder to see winning the award that bears his name. Congratulations. Thanks for everything. I can't wait to sing with you again.
I'm so pleased to say a few words about my teacher, Joseph Husti. Professor Husti, your distinguished career has included winning numerous trophies in international competitions, like the coveted Eisteddfod Choir of the World Trophy with the first American choir ever to do so back in 1965, and teaching some of the most successful people in our profession through a nearly 60-year career that isn't quite finished yet. Personally, in addition to bringing me from our mutual hometown of Cleveland to California and introducing me to my wonderful partner, Eileen, you taught me the most important lesson of my career: how to ask questions. I can't remember you ever quizzing us on facts or having us memorize things. I remember the questions, and that the answer to each question seemed to generate 2, 3, 4 more questions. Through you, I came to know that this is how learning and understanding truly take place. I know I frustrate my own students when I refuse to answer their questions directly, but you taught me and generations of other students that learning is less about the answers and more about asking the right questions. Each year, we still have dinner at conferences, and you continue to inspire me by still asking the questions. You continue to grow and learn and teach, and I thank you for those lessons. I'm proud to call you my teacher and my mentor and my friend, and I can't think of anyone more deserving of this honor. Congratulations.
Hello, CCDA colleagues, and thank you for the Howard Swan Award. In 1960, I took my Bakersfield College choir to Fresno to listen to a concert presented by the Occidental College Glee Clubs. We sat in the first row of Fresno High School auditorium and were transfixed. Tears flowing, we knew that we had heard something very special. And I had heard the ideal choral music-making group. It really changed my life, and my musical life took on a new urgency. 5 years later, in 1965, I had the audacity to ask Howard if he would listen to the Bakersfield College Choir and to our tour music that we were taking to the international musical Eisteddfod in Wales. He agreed. Following his summer morning seminar, the BC choir sang for 3.5 hours. Howard listened and critiqued and clinicked the choir, and he did his masterful job of telling us clearly, directly, and meaningfully. Finally, he summed up his observations to me and said, "Joe, your music lacks joy." Another lightning bolt had struck. So I had 5 days to pound some joy into the kids. And it worked. Howard taught the last decade of his career at UC Irvine with me, and I learned something from him every day. For my chestnut, I selected Norman Delajoyo's A Jubilant Song. During the bicentennial, high school choral directors voted this the most significant piece for a choral group by an American composer. The piece has special meaning to me, as Norman was my dean at Boston University and at Tanglewood, where we performed the Jubilant Song. The piece uses that magical word joy throughout. The joy of our spirit is uncaged. It darts like lightning. We sing prophetic joys. We sing of lofty ideals. We sing of love. Listen to our song. Please continue to seek those moments of prophetic joy and the joy of the Spirit. May your life be a jubilant song. Thank you, CCDA, and thank you, Howard Swan.
Good evening, everyone. My name is David V. Montoya, and I'm the CCDA Repertoire and Resources Chair for Choral Composition. And so tonight we are presenting the winner of the 2020 Echo Composition Competition. Officially, we call it the CCDA/George Hoysenstam Composition Competition at Echo. And so we're glad you're joining us tonight to hear some music that you haven't heard before. You can sing along with us by muting and listening to the recording. So we invite you to sing along when we present the piece. In 2016, we started this composition contest at Echo with a generous grant from Mr. George Hoysenstam. It creates opportunities for composers to be able to have their music heard by a large number of choral directors, usually about 175 at Echo. This year, because we're in an online format, even more people are going to be exposed to this wonderful music. And so we're thrilled to be able to offer this opportunity. And we thank George for his generous donations that have continued the competition going now in its 5th year. It will be going for many more than 10 years thanks to his generous donations. George, we're thrilled to have you here with us today and to introduce you to CCDA and all of the people who are watching. Do you have a few words you'd like to say?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me. I'm delighted to be here. I think this is very important what you're doing, and it's just very, very exciting. So I'm privileged to be part of it.
Why did you decide that you wanted to help us with this competition, George?
Well, I am a composer, retired, and in my early years of study and work, I wrote a number of choral pieces myself. I felt enough about them that maybe they would be worthy of being submitted to competition. Turns out I won a couple of choral competitions myself, one in 1964 and another one in 1977. And there was a cash award comparable to what's still going on. But that meant so much to me. And it really boosted me in my whole thrust forward, writing music. And it meant a lot for the rest of my whole career. I never forgot that. And now if I am able to contribute to that same thing and help other composers get that same feel, not only of perhaps being lucky enough to win, but the process of writing and submitting, that's important, win or lose. But to win is something extra special and you don't forget it. And it really keeps you moving. So I'm very happy to contribute to that whole process and hopefully for many years.
Thank you. And one of your judges was somebody very significant, were they not?
Yeah, in 1964, my first prize of any kind in music with a judge was Howard Hanson.
Wow.
My piece was called My Soul is Exceeding Sorrowful for 5-part choral choir, unaccompanied. It's a damn good piece, actually. Still, it's very good. It was published. I forget the publisher now, but it went on for quite a few years. And I received a long-playing recording of it years later from a Lutheran high school conductor. Clifford Madsen was his name, in South Dakota. And he recorded and he sent me a LP, a long playing record of it, with his high school group. They did really quite well. That was thrilling. Out of the blue, this LP in the mail. It was lovely.
And if anybody wants that score, contact me. I do have copies of it. Okay, so we're going to move on to the presentation of the winner for this year, for 2020. Our 3 judges were myself, along with Eliza Rubenstein, who is at Orange Coast College, and Dr. William Wells Bellin, who is a professor emeritus at Cal State Los Angeles. And we judged over 20 compositions that came in this year, and we are thrilled to announce that our winner is Greg Lapp with his 3 songs from 12th Night. Greg, congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And we're thrilled to have you here with us.
Yeah. is this is it kind of echoey for you? Is it
No,
okay?
sounds
Okay,
good over
good.
here.
First, I'd like to thank George for hosting this thing. It's very exciting to win something, as you just said, but it is exciting to just submit things to various competitions and see how you hold up. So thank you, George, for supporting this important event. I appreciate it.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Tell us a little bit about the piece, Greg.
So I actually wrote this a number of years ago, back in, I want to say, 96. I was teaching in Bakersfield, California, and I was teaching at Centennial High School, and the drama teacher, Debbie Vigstrom was her name, she was going to be doing Twelfth Night that year. And if you know Twelfth Night, the jester, Festa is his name, he sings 6 or 7 different songs in it. And of course, Shakespeare wrote lyrics to songs, but he didn't write any music to songs. And so I told her, I said, why don't I just write pieces for you? She thought that was a great idea. So they started with actual just solo songs for the production of Twelfth Night. And it was an interesting situation. Rick, who played this character, he was a good singer, but not really a musician, so he didn't play guitar or anything. And so I originally scored it for Rick's voice, and I had him play auto harp with it. Because I figured anybody can learn how to play the auto harp, and so he was out there playing the auto harp in a Shakespeare production and singing these various songs. And then shortly after that, the next year or so, I decided to take 3 of the tunes, and you'll see them in a moment. But it's "O Mistress Mine." A lot of people have set "O Mistress Mine" to music. "Come Away Death" is the second one, and then "Hey Ho, the Wind and the Rain" is the third one. I chose 3 of the songs from the production and made a little suite out of them for a cappella choral music. And then I performed it with my choirs, and a number of other people have performed it here and there as well, but it is unpublished currently, at least. So anyway.
Thank you. Tell us who is singing on this recording.
This is my chamber choir from Centennial High School, 1999, and so I hope you enjoy it.
Fantastic. Let's listen to it. For those of you who are watching, if you want to sing along and you want to just listen to the recording and sing, we would love to have you sing along. And I will scroll the score as best as I can. Here is 3 songs from Twelfth Night by Greg Lapp.
Everyone
Bravo, Greg.
Well, thank you. I think if you're going to perform that piece, maybe the last one not quite as fast as I did it back then.
It was a wonderful job. Just wonderful rhythmic vitality. I love the chromaticism in the second movement. Just very creative stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, I very much appreciate that. Okay, so everyone, if you are interested in this piece, it will be posted to the CCDA website on my page for choral composition. It'll be up there for about a month where you can download it for free. And if you are going to decide to program it when we get back to concerts, Greg would love to hear from you to give you, grant you permission to perform that piece.
And also, by the way, and I think this is on David's website as well, but you can find me at greglapmusic.com. I've got a website, and you can peruse other things that I have written and contact me through there as well.
Fantastic. And there is a link to that site also on the CCDA website. So I want to thank Buddy James and CCDA for all the work that they're doing to put on this choral summit, and for allowing us to present Greg and his piece and George today. I want to thank Eliza Rubenstein and Bill Beelan for their help in judging the competition. And of course, I want to thank George Hoysenstam for his generous donations. And for Greg Lapp, I want to thank him for being here with us today and offering such wonderful music for our competition. Ladies and gentlemen, the composition competition will continue next spring. Be watching the Cantate magazine and your ACDA mailings so that you know, or CCDA mailings, so you know when the composition will be taking place. And we would love to have hear your submissions for next year. All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being here with me.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
We'll see you next year.